Here I'm going to show you how to prepare matcha two different ways. The first way is the traditional way. I have here our matcha bowl as well as our matcha whisk. So the traditional way is made by whisking the matcha powder in the bowl. I'm going to start off by preheating the bowl with a little bit of water. And I'm also going to moisten the whisk, just going back and forth a little bit so that the whisk is pre-moistened. And then you can discard this water. Next, I'm going to take our matcha. Here I have vanilla matcha. There's plain matcha and there's many other flavors as well. So we take about half a teaspoon of matcha powder and put it into the bowl. You can use a sieve if you want as well and sift it in just to help avoid some of the clumps. I'm going to put a little bit of water. It's about half a cup of water for half a teaspoon of matcha. I'm going to put a little bit in to start, and we're going to make a paste to break up any clumps. And we tend to go back and forth to mix it up. So I'm making a paste right now using the whisk as well as the bowl. Then I'm going to add the rest of my half cup of water, and I'm going to continue to whisk it briskly back and forth or in a W or M-shaped pattern. Our matcha bowl actually has curved in sides, which is nice because it helps to prevent any splashing over the sides from occurring as you're mixing it. Now the water temperature I'm using is 175 degrees, also known as shrimp eyes. I'll talk a little bit more about that in my video about water temperature for teas. You don't want the water to be too hot because it can add some bitterness to the flavor. And one question some people have is, why drink matcha? What's special about matcha? Matcha is made differently than other teas. In other teas, you steep the teas, you get the infusion of flavor out of the teas, and you get lots of benefits such as antioxidants and so forth, especially with green tea. Matcha, on the other hand, is a very, very high quality of green tea. The leaves are dried, and then the entire leaf is crushed into a very fine powder and mixed in here so that you're drinking the entire leaf. You're getting an enormous shot of antioxidants compared to drinking regular green tea. You also get a higher dose of caffeine as well. There is caffeine that naturally occurs into green tea, but when you consume the entire leaf in matcha, as opposed to when you do it through a regular cup of green tea, you're going to get an extra high dose of that antioxidants. So when whisking, the whisk is just slightly floating above the bottom of the bowl and going back and forth into the traditional M or W shaped. And then at the end, once you have a nice frothy powder, you just gently back and forth will break up any of the large bubbles that you might have. And then you have your lovely matcha tea that's ready to drink. Now, the way that I normally prepare it, a little bit different. That's great if you want to do something a little bit more soothing and relaxing, more traditional. The way that I usually tend to prepare it is I put a bit into our perfect matcha shaker. I add orange juice, so half a cup of orange juice to half a cup of matcha powder. Our perfect shaker has the shaker ball in it, which helps to break up the powder and avoid clumps. Give it a really vigorous shake. And you're ready to go. You can bring this to work with me. It takes just a few seconds. It's delicious. Vanilla matcha and orange juice ends up tasting like a creamsicle. So it's a really nice treat to have. A little extra caffeine in the morning. I don't drink coffee, so that gets me going for the day.